Putin is a killer! Putin is a killer!
Alexei Navalny was the primary opposition leader among the Russian diaspora and the Russian liberal opposition wing within both Russia and outside the Russian borders.
In the past years, he's been in prison, and I feel like for many Russians, myself included, he was the main symbol of some hope for a better future for our country. And today, the day of his death, is especially dark because it just feels like the last hope has died.
He presented an alternative reality of a Western world that we want Russia to join. He showed an example of bravery that Russians are often accused of lacking. He returned to our home country 3 years ago in attempts to defend his right to be present in his own territory and to make a political influence in the Russian sphere. That is why he's so important. He, in my opinion, his team, it's called Popular Politics on YouTube, and Team Navalny has also been instrumental in bringing the Russian diaspora into the informational war in support of Ukraine. He's one of the biggest leaders of the Russian opposition against the war. He has elongated his sentence and now given his life to standing against the war in Ukraine by every time he's in court speaking against it and bringing attention to the war and saying he opposes the war, which in Russia is a sentence in itself. He's adding to his current sentence.
Peace for Ukraine and freedom for Russia! Peace for Ukraine and freedom for Russia!
They attempted to kill him previously. They attempted to poison him. He barely survived, and then they tortured him in prison. And now I think we have to take into account the 2-year anniversary of the war approaching, the Russian election approaching, what just happened this past weekend with the other opposition leaders being removed from the docket for the upcoming Russian election. Putin eliminated his only opposition within Russia, which is now going to scare people into submission. I think it was an assassination. I think it was an execution. If you like, I think execution is a proper word to use. It was a murder. I think people are grieving and experiencing. We're all seeking some sort of a collective refuge from the hopelessness that this loss symbolizes. We just spent a few hours speaking and just processing what just happened because honestly, we're not 100% sure on how to proceed as the opposition because this was our beacon and our symbol of moving forward.
Putin is a killer!
Putin is a killer!
Russia is a terrorist state!
Russia is a terrorist state!
And now we understand that this monstrous regime will do whatever they need in order to keep being in power. And this is probably the saddest and the scariest part. And it's just really hard to see the future. It's just dark as never before, and it's really scary. And it's a really hard time for all of us.